Right? Just in case your mind's confused, I'll give you an example. You like playing basketball. You really like playing basketball. You're just one of these guys that likes playing basketball, or girls that likes playing basketball, right? You challenge people, you do things, you try to perfect yourself, you practice all the time. Okay, since I'm God and I know you're my child and you love playing basketball, I'm going to give you a mitzvah. It's Jewish for blessing. I'm going to give you a blessing, right? I'm going to touch on the forehead, and wait till you see what's going to happen. Next time you go out to that court, you pick up that ball, swoosh. You go to another place, swoosh. Go to another place on the court, swoosh. Go, whoa, wow. You close your eyes, swoosh. You stand backwards, swoosh. Full court, swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Nothing but net. Every single time, no matter what you do, pick the thing up with one finger and throw it, swoosh. For a little while, it's like, wow, that is really exciting, isn't it? Wow, wait till the guys see this, okay? Next time you're down there at the courts, picking up games, people pick you, don't pick you, you always went through that, right? And there they all are, 5-on-5, 3-on-3, 1-on-1, whatever it is. There you go, swoosh. Hey, nice shot. Swish, nice shot, right? After 4 or 5, you know, what steroids you've been taking? Start accusing you of things, right? After 10 or 15, all of a sudden, it's not so much fun anymore for anybody. Because the minute you touch the ball, why bother playing? And you start to understand why you were playing basketball. You were playing basketball to better yourself. You're playing basketball to see how well you could do. If every single time someone on that court touched that ball, it went in, it's not a game anymore. There's no fun in it. No one would pick you soon. They don't even want you on the court. You ruined the game. That's what would happen if every time you wanted something, it happened. You would be dead. It would ruin your entire life. There would be nothing. No excitement, no challenge, no anything. I really want you to look at that. I've always found that sometimes great teachings and insights are seen at the extremes. Just take something to its extreme, and then you'll see its nature. So if you spent your life avoiding your fears, all of them, and you did really well, I'm just going to go again, really well, nothing you're afraid of happens. You just avoid them. Nothing you're afraid of happens. You will have nothing. You've done nothing with your life. All you did was avoid and not experience or feel. If you got blessed and everything you wanted took place the minute you wanted it, your life would be dead. There'd be nothing. That's why the life we are living doesn't work. It really does not work, because we're not even succeeding at what it is we're trying to do, because success is failure. Hear me. I was like, what kind of stupid situation do you set up that if you fail, you fail, and if you succeed, you fail? That's a lose-lose situation. At least set up something that you can win. So this thing about avoiding fears, I've taught you this before, but never got in this clear, so you can't challenge it. I really want you. It's very, you can take your mind with you in these talks. It's very logical. If you spend a life of avoiding your fears, you lose. You lose either because you can't avoid your fears, or you lose because if you avoid your fears, you still didn't gain anything. If you spend a life of trying to fulfill your desires, the things you made up will make you okay, you lose. You lose either because you didn't fulfill them and you feel resentment and anger and jealousy, or because you did fulfill them and now what do? Because it didn't do anything for you. It didn't do anything for you to be able to throw that basketball in every single time. What you wanted was the respect of other people. What you wanted was to feel good about yourself. You don't feel good about yourself, and you don't have the respect of other people. If you could throw it in every time, that wanted nothing to do with you. It's just an amazing, amazing realization. And so a yogi wakes up and says, I am not going to live that life. Which life? The life of avoiding my fears and the life of fulfilling my desires. Then the question comes up, a little voice goes, well, then what do I do? Since I've spent every minute of my life avoiding my fears, and I still do, and trying to fulfill my desires, and I still do, I don't understand. What is my alternative? Therefore, instead of explaining to you a moment ago, how do you live this life where you find this joy and ecstasy, right? You do it first by seeing what life doesn't give that. And then you see what's left. So the life of avoiding your fears, of fulfilling your desires, is not going to lead you to ecstasy. It's going to lead you to depression. It's going to lead you to your humanness. It's going to lead you to jealousy, fear, anxiety, just all the stuff that's going on inside. That is the gift, the booby prize of living that life. It is a mess in there, isn't it? And I'm telling you, if you look carefully, you'll see it's a mess in there because you're trying to avoid your fears and you're trying to fulfill your desires and you're lost, and all these emotions come up, and hope and the disappointment and the opposites. The opposites just keep happening. All right. What is the alternative? There is an alternative, and the alternative works, and it's the only thing that works. So we call the middle path. It lies in between all of that. It says as follows: why am I not okay? Not how do I be okay? It asks a very different question. It does not ask, how do I avoid my fears? It says, why are there so many fears? It doesn't ask, how do I fulfill my desires? It says, why am I not okay within myself? So it's an exploration inside. It has nothing to do with the outside. It is an exploration inside. You've now at least lined yourself up. If you can find out why you're not okay and fix that, now you solve something. You hear me? What will happen if you fix not being okay? By definition, you will be okay. You've got rid of not okayness, you will feel all this joy and ecstasy. And that's what you're going to find someday, is that what's happening is underneath you is all of this joy. I promise you. I've never asked you to believe anything. I don't want you to believe anything. Go find it. Underneath what you think is you, all this desire and need and fear and junk, your personal self, underneath that is the ecstasy, the joy of life, of being. And every once in a while, when you get what you want, it comes up because it clears out. Every once in a while, when you avoid what you don't want, it comes up and you feel relief. But it's there all the time, just an ocean of joy and ecstasy. So what you find is the fact that you're not okay, you've shoved on top of that, and now you try to build a life of how to be okay. Spirituality doesn't do that. Spirituality says, I understand that spirit lies underneath and the personal self is in between. I need to find a way to let go of the part of me that is not okay. And that becomes the entire meaning of your life. Not to satisfy it, not to avoid it. How do I let go of the part of me that's not okay so that I can experience what's underneath it, which is more than okay? It is ecstasy itself. And so now the question becomes, how do you do it? What I like is I always spend this amount of time to talk till I have just a couple of minutes left. But it should be that it takes forever to explain how do I do it. In this particular case, it doesn't. The answer of how do you do it is so simple. It is so easy. And that's why everybody misses it. If it is true, and it is, that your consciousness is aware of whatever it's looking at. I don't have to argue that one, do I? Your consciousness is aware of whatever's in front of it. Right now, what's in front of it is the mess of the human psyche, which was made up of fears and desires and all the experiences that support that. That's what your psyche is. It's just full of it. And it's just causing all this trouble and reacting to everything. It's just a mess. Underneath that is where you want to go. Underneath that is everything. Underneath that is God. And when Christ said the kingdom is within you, that's way back inside of you. All right?